This is most definitely the biggest crowd we've had out here. All right, the next speaker that I'm going to have come up, someone that I've known for a few years now. First met him at a little rally down in Vancouver to support our fallen officers down in Texas. The next time I saw him, it was at a Patriot Guard mission, where he was out there supporting the mission, supplying our veterans with what they needed for that mission. He doesn't ask for any thanks for that. He just goes and does it. Earlier this year, or I should say last year, when I-1094 was finally approved, he stepped up to supply printing. He stepped up to help supply people to get those sheets out to everyone, and it was a valiant effort made. At any rate, let's have Daniel Mitchell, Sporting Systems in Vancouver, come up and speak.
Good morning, everybody. Just to let you know, I get a little nervous around large groups of people that don't have guns. So these buildings kind of scare me a little. I feel awfully damn safe right here. So thank you, everybody, for coming out and braving these frozen tears of the anti-gunners. It's a great turnout. Louder? Okay.
Move your hands
so,
on the mic.
My name is Dan Mitchell, and I am suing the state of Washington in federal court over 1639. That's the reaction I was looking for. It made me feel a little better about all those people with no guns.
We got your back.
I don't like giving speeches. I don't like being in the spotlight, but I do believe in doing the right thing. I am what you would call an inconvenient activist. 2 years ago, when 1639 came down the pike, I was as apolitical as you could get, short of Second Amendment rights. I don't like places like this. I generally don't like politicians and politics. So I actively stayed away from it. When 1639 got put on the ballot, I decided I didn't have that luxury anymore. I needed to stand up and do something. So I started raising some money. I had some YouTube personalities and other people get behind us. We raised about $100,000 and printed no cards and the no on 1639 stuff and spread them out all over the state. We lost. That's why we're here. A month later, me and 5 other plaintiffs, with the support of the Second Amendment Foundation and the National Rifle Association, filed a lawsuit in federal court against 1639. We avoided the court across the street because they'd already said they don't really care about the Second Amendment. So we filed in federal court. That is going through right now. 2 weeks from now, I get to sit in Bob Ferguson's office and be deposed by his legal team. I think there's 9 attorneys there. We have 3 on our side. So first time getting deposed. That should be pretty fun. Anybody done it before? Any good advice? So when this rally came up, I really wanted to support Rick, and one thing I hate when I come up here and I testify up here about 20 or 30 times a year on the different gun bills, and I always hate when I show up and I see these buses full of orange shirts with people with their knitting needles and their boxed breakfasts and boxed lunches. I hate seeing that. So I chartered a fucking bus. And I brought 50 people from Southwest Washington up here with me today. There are times in your life when the right thing is presented and you just do it. That was the right thing to get more of our citizens from Southwest Washington up here, and it was really good to be a part of that. So I want to keep this kind of short so we can all get back to the people's business, and y'all been standing here for an awful long time. But there are some other good things that we've been able to be a part of. The 1094 repeal effort was a challenge. Bad ballot title, not a lot of time, no funding. But what we saw is hundreds of thousands of people around Washington take notice and stand up and start acting together. And that is something the gun community has not done in this state before. And that's why we continue to get our tails handed to us by the anti-gun community, whose every little victory is a major victory to them. But it's a huge loss to us. So we've been doing other stuff. We've been raising money for the Second Amendment Foundation. And today I have another installment payment that I'd like to make to them. This check is for $10,000. And I've got Boyd and Dave Workman here from the Second Amendment Foundation. This check brings the total that we've donated to the Second Amendment Foundation up to $130,000 in the last 12 months. And that's not me doing that. I mean, I threw a few dollars in the pot, certainly, but 100% of what we've raised through our 1639 Legal Defense Fund on GoFundMe has been donated to them. There's been three withdrawals from that account. They've all been checks to those guys. We put on a free 1639 training class, put it online. We've trained 43,000 people in the past year. I like to tell people they passed a bad law, so I gave you a bad class. But it meets the intent of the law. So that's been really good. I said 43,000 people have gone through that, and so that's pretty cool. And so the lawsuit's charging away. The next 6 weeks are going to be very exciting if you live in my world, because I'm going to be in a federal courtroom. I'm going to be in the Attorney General's office. It's going to be all kinds of fun for me. And I'm going to be here for about the next 60 days at every hearing, talking with every legislator that I can, bringing people up with me, spreading the message. But if I can say one thing and just leave it at that, put everything else aside. Don't worry about your politics. Don't worry about race, color, skin, sexual orientation. Don't worry if they like Glocks or 1911s. Put your differences aside. Focus on what the objective is, and that is to take this place back, to save our Second Amendment rights, and fight for that and that alone. I am an inconvenient activist on a single issue, and that is all I will ever be. Thank you very much.
That's a dam brought 50 people up from Southwest Washington.